Ah, you can't hear me, I see. Oh my goodness. Now, now can. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm not sure what's going on today, but everything literally just unconnected and I don't know what's going on. But I'm so glad you can hear me now. Yay! Doesn't matter how we started, it matters how we finish. And I'm sorry for being late. Like I mentioned, maybe you guys didn't hear me, but I had a lot of technical difficulties this morning. As you guys can see, that was continuing, but I hope that's fixed now. Um, like my camera wouldn't work, then OBS wouldn't work, and then my AirPod wouldn't work, as you can see. But we're here now. Yeah. Let's have a moment of gratitude for everything that we'll be able to do. Excuse me. Okay, I gotta calm myself down because I'm more like a little freaking out. But we're here. Happy Wednesday. Let's do some art. And if you're just discovering me, finding out about me, uh, just come across me. Um, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, follow, jump in the chat. Let me know who you. Let me know if any questions, and let me know that you're here. Okay, I have a new painting, so let's just jump right into it, I guess, today. Okay, I have a brand new painting for you guys today. I'm pretty excited to continue this fashion and vices exploration, but I do want to show you this painting, the painting I finished last week. It's it's pretty awesome. I mean, if I may say so myself, but I do have a few questions for you guys, so let me know what you guys think. Okay, let's jump right into it. And thank you so much, Trevor and Crimson, and I think Graphic was here for a second for being here. So I have this painting finished. I think last week, I had to jump off a little bit early, so I didn't really do the background with you guys. So the background is finished. This background is a blend of watercolor and gouache at the same time, I guess, because I had to get some of that vibrant color. I realized I just had to mix gouache with it and then go back and forth and mixing, and it turned out amazing. Actually, I love it. I love how it turned out, how brilliant, how colorful, how bright it is. We have this fashion girl in a very beautifully patterned outfit that I did do with you guys on screen, eating a cup of noodles. Little ironic for someone who's so dressed up and so, sophisticated looking, eating cup noodles. But I feel like we all had those moments where we are just want something, crave something that is cheap, something that's bad for you. And cup noodle definitely fits in that category. And I finished my little orbit that's hiding behind her, behind all the flowers, because she is doing something guilty pleasure, and the orbit represents her inner thoughts, her inner feelings, as in my all my other paintings, that she's kind of hiding but still is doing it. She doesn't care, she's doing it anyways. The shoes and the purse I finished, and then yeah, Let me know what you guys think. It is a vertical painting. It is on a 30 by 22 inch piece of paper. Oh, thank you so much. I know I had to jump off early, otherwise you probably would have had a more probably remember what it looks like more. And that's the contrast. I think that's a great idea. Oh, thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate it. I guess my question was, if you look back my older art, they are definitely more pastel colored, more soft, and the girls don't have hair on them and whatnot. And as an artist, you obviously, I want to build my own visual language, my own world, and all that good stuff. But Pinky, you need to learn a course. I can buy to, or you can just join my live stream. I share all my tips here. Hee hee. But yeah, my question is, am I moving too far away from my usual normal language? Or is it, because for me, it seems like it's just a like evolution, maybe a jump, maybe because I usually do partial body. This one is a full body. Definitely colorful, more colorful, because I feel like this year has just been so crappy that I want something more lighthearted, something more um, playful. That's kind of how this piece ended up. And I kind of, on my older art, I definitely use that white pop, like white gouache as a pop, as the contrast. And for this painting, I kind of push that to a much further place where I should start ending up drawing patterns with it. But I think it ended up well, yeah. And from all the comments, think I think you guys agree. So yeah, I was just a little bit concerned about if I'm going too far from my usual self. But then again, if myself is evolving and changing, I shouldn't, for the better, then I shouldn't stop myself, right? So yeah, that was kind of my thought process. But I'm going to continue with a new piece, and Crimson, I will share any things learned, tips with you as I go. And obviously, if you have any questions that I didn't answer, you can definitely leave me a comment on the live stream and I'll answer that in writing for sure. So for this piece here, the guilty pleasure or the vice she's enjoying is a cigarette. I know it's not something that's kind of going out of fashion, but I feel like it's maybe coming back for the better or worse. Um, Pinky, have you considered streaming on Twitch? Yeah, definitely. I gotta be honest, I looked into it, but it just totally overwhelmed me because, and I hear that it's more a place for gamers and for I don't know, things that's not art related, but I could be completely wrong. But you guys, you let me know. Trevor said you don't mind at all. I appreciate that. Since you are one of my avid collectors, I will definitely take your opinion very to heart. So Crimson said, have you considered streaming on Twitch? I don't know. Should I? Should I? Is this something I need to do? Am I wasting my time here on YouTube? Sometimes I wonder about. Sometimes I wonder about that. Oh, just drop my stuff. But yes, so I was just explaining, this piece. I'm kind of the vices. She's smoking a cigarette in her beautiful fashion outfit with one of her shoes kind of coming off. She's obviously in a mood of not giving an F right now. Maybe she's going to a fashion show, but just so stressed out that she's like, whatever, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, take my shoes off. And this little orbed here is kind of looking at her, wondering what's going on in a curious stance. I made her top a suction cup. Maybe she wants some of that secondhand smoke, maybe. And as someone who grew up in China, that is something, grew up in China in the 90s, I should say, because now it's not the case anymore. But secondhand smoke is just everyday occurrence. And I don't know, maybe she wants a taste of that. Since she doesn't have a mouth, she can't smoke herself. A little bit. Okay. Um, there's a very popular art section. Please do have a look into it. Yes, I want you to get maximum reach as artists are very rare. The traditional arts are very popular. Oh, Crimson, I will definitely take what you say to heart and see um and look into it. Absolutely. And I didn't know that there's a traditional artist section, so that's good to know. Um, okay. I will definitely look into that. I am streaming simultaneously on X right now, but I don't know how good that is doing me for my reach and for my growth and for my um, sales, all that stuff. So I should look into Twitch. Yes. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I'm assuming you're on Twitch as well, so that I had to like find you there. Yeah. And I am using Restream via OBS, if anybody's wondering how I am streaming. All right, let's get started. I'm sorry, that's like 30 minutes into my scheduled time and I haven't did a single lick of artwork. Okay, so I pour some salt on the first layer. It did a little bit texture because I feel like this area is getting flat, but I will definitely continue to build texture as we go on. In fact, I'm going to reuse this little bit of salt in the little bit. I'm gonna put that in the corner. But yeah, so how you guys been this week? More art, more life, more work, maybe? Hopefully your work is something that you enjoy. And Crimson, I think you might be like the second person or third to tell me to stream on Twitch. So if it's like maybe third is a charm. If you're the third person, then I'm finally convinced that I need to do it. Okay, so I said last time, and Crimson, you're here. So I did start with the body last time, and I said last time at this painting, I'm gonna start with the background first, and then kind of work my gouache into it so that you guys can see how I got all that effect in the first piece. And for those of you who are just joining me, don't forget to hit that like, follow, subscribe button, whatever you're on. And if you want to take a closer look at the last piece I just did, let me know in the comments so I'll, switch my camera view or just zoom in, zoom out, zoom away to that art. Yeah, but I often visit Twitch, mostly digital artists on there, and traditional artists are naturally more popular. Okay, so it sounds like I need to seize that before that thing, before that stops being to my advantage. Yeah. Okay, so as you guys can see, I started on this corner already, and now I'm looking at it through my camera. Like that could make a pretty cool like wallpaper. And I did read that for 2026, these more ornate, more floral decorated wallpaper is like popular for interior. So something for me to think about. So starting my New Year's resolution, I started gym, healthy eating, etc. Oh, good for you. Please keep that going. We all need a little bit of gym and healthy eating in our lives. I actually have not been working out a whole lot, and I feel it. I feel it in my mentality. I feel it in my body because I did work out this week after a whole month of not, and I'm just so sore. Okay, so far I have not mixed any gouache in yet, but I am going to slowly, or I can explain my composition. So for this one, I think I'm gonna mix. So there are these more pronounced floral flower shapes. I think I'm going to mix gouache into those areas that are not the whole thing, then you don't have that depth, right? So watercolor for the very background, I'm gonna mix gouache to pop some of these flowers out to you. And then her is gonna be bright, so maybe I had to end up using some gouache as well. I don't know yet. We'll see how we go. And then again, if you guys had any questions, wondering what I'm doing, concerns, let me know. All right, that's enough talking. Yeah. So I did some of this. We did that. Okay. I really do like how transparent this area is, so we're gonna work on this area a little bit more. What's this? What I'm going to glaze. And I really have realized I really am enjoying painting these backgrounds right now because it feels more abstract. And I've been kind of obsessed with learning about abstract floral, not just floral, just abstract watercolor painting. I'm not going to switch to abstract art overnight, but I definitely want to incorporate some of the look and feel into my art. So I glaze this area. I have my quinacridone magenta, the bright rose mixed or paletted already. I'm just going to drop that in onto the edge here to kind of define some of the shapes better. I'm already plotting my next few pieces. I realize that when I plot them all at the same time, they, it feels more like a collection and less disconnected to some extent. And then I'm mixing some vermilion hue into the quinacridone magenta to give it like a more warm color. And then bring that over here. Are you guys, keep up with all the AI news and whatnot? Because I've been kind of glued to my screen learning more about this open clawbot, moltbot thing. Because it kind of freaked me out at first, but I think I'm okay now. So that's the latest of this week. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling very abstract right now with what's happening in the art. Okay. Technical question. How many glazes can you apply? Is there maximum? I don't think there is a maximum that you can apply. You can technically just keep on going. But from my experience, 3 layers is kind of where you want to stop because any more than that is going to start feeling muddy. Because, like you have your mid-tone, your highlight, maybe a shadow undertone, but after that, maybe like a fourth tone to really push the complexity. But after that, it could get your party will get muddy. So I think that's probably similar to digital art. Well, maybe digital you can keep going, but yeah, I find that 3 to 4 layers probably the max you want to apply. I think, yeah, I don't think I've ever gone more than that. 3 is probably a good place. Vermilion hue again, mixed with quinacridone. More vermilion now, less quinacridone for this patch. And I do have pencil lines underneath, if you are wondering, because I know some artists will do freehand without any planning. I can't really do that just yet, or maybe ever. So yes, I do have pencil lines underneath. And I did paint this yesterday. I'm just gonna wet it again, because I want this to happen. And really, if I want to be technical, it's a little too wet, so I'm gonna absorb some of the water from the corner here. Like I started so messy today, but hopefully it will get some of the order back. And not to say messy is bad, I think it could be good. And then now that's here, I'm going to glaze this one again. With that happening, you see in the corner, that's what I want to happen. Yes. I'm very carefully glazing this edge because the areas I don't want that to happen, I kind of leave it like a hairline width distance so that they don't overlap too much. I'm just reading about OpenClaw. Seems really useful. I'm very pro AI. Love ChatGPT. I hope we can get futurist AR assistant that can cook. I think Elon's building that bot to do that, or maybe he's gonna build it to drive taxi first, but eventually I'm sure. In fact, I think like there's like AI companies in China that's already advertising that soon, you know. I also feel like everything is going at breakneck speed. So when I say soon, you know, before it might be 10, 15 years. Now it could be like, oh, maybe next year we'll be there. I also don't understand why people hate on AI. It's just a tool, 90% AR sucks anyway. I completely agree with you there. I think it's more like maybe you can maybe agree or disagree, or if you have had different observation. I think it's more like some artists I know, they hate AI because some people use it and then showcase it and then like, you know, and then position like this is my art, I'm awesome because I prompt this. Maybe it's that general attitude that people are hating on, not the AI tool itself. Because I agree, AI art tool could be so helpful sometimes. I use it for like poses. Sometimes it takes you forever to find a pose on the internet, but with AI, I can just tell it. Now with Nano Banana, that's like even faster. And sometimes I use it for light and shadow, because you know, to find a sometimes I can imagine it, so find a reference also takes a long time. So there's that. Okay, I'm gonna start activating some gouache now. And I try to make it like clear that when I'm using gouache, I'm using usually a flat brush, and then round brush is generally watercolor. Not sure why, but just my differentiation in my own head, I guess. Haven't tried any of it yet, basically. That's okay, Trevor. You're probably one of the few pure humans left. So this is gouache. I have a kind of bright orange color. I'm just gonna drop it in the corner here just a little bit and then bring it down here. And this whole thing is still wet, so it's gonna spread and change into something I haven't planned. So we'll see how that goes. Has no soul, it's very obvious. And obvious I use AI for. Absolutely, I use AI for post reference all the time. It's really good at generating ideas too for color compositions. Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad that you agree there. I do find, I don't know if you notice, I do find that sometimes AI has like this like formula of color composition, and after a while it gets a little boring. So like sometimes I'll change one color out manually to just give that little bit of like what was that? And then I find that that's good sometimes, but I don't do that all the time. Sometimes I do. I drop a little bit of water to give it a little bit of texture. So this, like this, what I'm doing right now, I feel like it's definitely an exercise of creating how much texture can I create without it going, losing the soul to me. Okay, so mm, so I have this floral here now. I'm gonna work on this and then move it over. And also, I remember I said last time I'm gonna work counterclockwise because I am right-handed because I kept on like smearing this side of the painting last time. So I'm gonna just work this way. So my right hand's always on something clean and dry. Okay. And I do find that I like to work in sections, some for watercolor, like within the, oh, there's a salt grain. Oh, maybe I should do that. I have some kosher salt here. I'm gonna just drop it in here because I see that the surface is wet. You might create some interesting texture. We'll see how happens. If my watercolor painting has a taste, it might be salty. Actually, it's like something you think will taste sweet, but it's actually salty. But yeah, I was saying that I like to work in sections, especially with the techniques I'm trying now, because I think I have greater control that way. So the thing I'm doing that I found that works really well was to go in with gouache first. So I just glaze this section. Let's look close. Just glaze this section with just water. That part is kind of going, oh, and the salt is here. It's gonna do some texture play there. This is wet. I'm gonna work before. Okay. And then I'm gonna go take some wash. This is my gouache palette. This is way messier than my watercolor palette because it sticks on more, I guess. I'm gonna take some gouache in magenta color, magenta mixed with a crimson, what is this called? Flaming red. And it's not very creamy or thick, it's just more thicker than my normal watercolor, I guess. What does salt do? I've not seen it before. Oh, you will see. It'll create this like almost tie-dye like texture in the watercolor. I'll show you once all that is dry and when that happens. It's like as if when the salt melts in the watercolor, it pushes out and creates like really cool fractures. Let's see if there's anything I can show you right now that does it. Not anything handy, but yeah, I'll show you. But it creates like this fracturing texture. Okay, but I'll show you when that's dry. Add some magenta. I'm gonna drop it in on this side. Oh, it's still very creamy, you see. But I find that gouache, when it's mixed very watery, it spreads even better than watercolor. So this is actually pretty watery, so do it. And then I'm gonna go in with that Kernagard watercolor. This side. Oh, more water. So if I don't know if you guys are unfamiliar with the gouache, it is a medium that it dries very quickly, but you can also add more water to re-wet it. And usually I should remember to do that before we started, so by now you'd be all softened and creamy again, but it hasn't. So mixing, try to get more of the pigment into the water so it becomes a thicker paint. Remember, this has that quinacridone. I'm gonna drop it a little bit of the vermilion watercolor on this end. And this is, again, just gouache now. Albeit a bit of watery gouache. But you can see how much more opaque it is than watercolor. I do find that when this technique is requiring me to work very fast. And then I'm gonna draw, this is watercolor. So I'm just basically switching back and forth between watercolor and wash. I'm doing some a cool red, crimson lake is a color, but just for this brand. I'm sure other brand calls it differently. From the end, when the petal is tucked in, and the edges maybe a little bit here. When I see this fracturing, it just it's like a very sensual experience for me, almost very ASMR. I'm scared of gouache. Haha, I'm trying to learn watercolor properly before I get to gouache, so I heard it's easier. Though I heard it's easier to learn. Are you familiar with acrylic or anything like that? Because I think gouache is like so hard. But again, I've never painted in acrylic, so I feel like if you have experience with acrylic, that might be the case. Yes. So, oh yeah, so you see the salt, what it's doing here? It's kind of pushing some of the paint away, so I'm gonna move away these grains here. Move it away a little bit. And it kind of creates these, like, I don't know how to call this, but these like splitting kind of texture. I think I might have put too much on it. I'm gonna fill that in. I don't like how that's completely erase this part. Oops. Yeah, forgetting my brushes. putting some gouache back in so that maybe you'll push back up, which might be interesting to see. I've painted in our acrylic school, but it was years ago past. I just stay with watercolor. Yes, learn watercolor first. Master, well, you don't have to master, but have like a good handle with water, and then go with get into gouache. But I do say the how to paint with gouache is very similar with acrylic, although well, I guess acrylic dries pretty quickly too, because like I say gouache dries so fast, and the issue I've always had, I'm getting better at it, is to so this interesting thing that happens with gouache. When the gouache dries, it dries matte, right? But when it's wet, it's shiny, has a sheen to it. And as we know, as you know, when the color is wet or when the color is shiny and matte, they have different depth. The wet gouache looks darker than the dry gouache. So you cut it if you don't work fast enough. Once they start having that difference, you're like, it's like, do I need to redo this? Like, what's going on? But really, sometimes you just have to wait for it to dry, and then they look the same. That was like the biggest learning curve I had to get over. And yeah, the other big complaint I have is just it dries so fast. Like no time to breathe, and then it dries, and then they have that color difference, which which like I'm just scratching my head. So you kind of just my solutions, when I notice that happen, I just had to stop, go to another section, and then let that area completely dry first, and then go back and judge, do I need to render it more, do I need to do anything else, or is that good? And then I feel like 8 times out of 10, not every time, 8 times out of 10 is fine after they dry. Can you do layer with gouache, or you just react with water? So gouache dries opaque, so you can't really layer it per se. The only way you layer is like how you would with acrylic or oil painting, where you just you go over it. And yes, you can just reactivate with water as well. Yes. So I'm gonna keep on playing with these two colors, this magenta and this red. I'm gonna make this part so that kind of dry nicely. So this is more transparent because it's more water, less gouache, more gouache, less water. Okay. So this is gouache. I added and mixed a little bit of flaming red with the magenta. Left that little gap for you guys to see. Watercolor. So watercolor right now, it looks really bright, right? But when it dries, it's much more translucent and doesn't look as bright. Let's add some here, maybe. Now it's getting fun, guys. I'm getting into the rhythm. Ooh. I'm saying that because now I feel I'm getting into the rhythm of the exchange now. Let's see. Now let the magic happen. So if I want it to spread in the next to it, I'll purposely kind of clip that area. But then you see the area I don't want to spread, I'll leave it like a hairline width, which I will go back and cover up if I have to. But right now I leave it. But if I wanted to spread, then I do a little bit of a eclipse thing, I guess. How do you do desaturated shadow in watercolor? I love your question because it's hard. Um, and I'm sure you've tried, right? Like mixing, like how do you do desaturated shadow? So this is the whole reason I bought a color wheel for it. So to desaturate watercolor for the shadows, the thing that I find that works the best is to mix in like a contrasting color into the watercolor for the shadow. Does that make sense? How do you do desaturated colors? It's not like you can't really, so say you have a pink. Yeah, exactly. Someone told you that is right. That's exactly why I bought a color wheel because you probably find that, if you have a pink, let's say what example should I use? If you have I'm using pink now, a pink figure, right? You can't really just add more black for the shadow or add to darken the pink to make it look darker because it doesn't work like that. So you had to mix. So you had to, yeah, you got it. So for pink, I'll probably have to mix in like blue for the shadow. And if I want to be a warmer shadow, I'll mix blue and a little bit of brown to make like a burnt Sierra, like a warm brown to warm it up. But light is no problem. I'm assuming that you got that because for to be more light, you really just have to not paint it or add more water. So that's easy. Okay. So this is watercolor now. That Magadon pink. I'm gonna bring them in. I know Crimson, you have another question. Because this area is drying. I'm gonna do this real quick and then answer your question in 1 second. I guess watercolor, I'm also racing against time, but not as bad as painting with gouache, believe it or not. For watercolor, it dries as, I have the time I have this as fast as the water dries, but I feel like gouache dries like even faster than that. Let me drop in a bit of orange. See, it was so dark earlier, now it's like so pale. Okay. What about neutral tint? For neutral tint, I usually just play with for shadow. You want it to be shadows generally cool. So for neutral tint, I do burnt umber, which is the cool brown for shadow. Sorry for asking these basic questions, just keep on mudding things up. Oh, no, not at all. These are actually not basic questions at all, Crimson. This is like the difference between amazing painting that you love versus something that you want to throw away. And it's not even that basic because it took me a long time to figure it out. And it's not even like matter of knowledge because on top of that, I'm sure you've realized it's like I can watch all the YouTube videos, I can get questions and answer that, but when you do that in practice, it feels different. And then, you gotta fight your old habits, so to speak, a lot of times too. So not basic at all. Okay, so this petal kind of like curls around. So I'm gonna leave that be. Color do I have here? Oh, you're not basic at all. And in fact, I'll say if you have that question, I'm sure someone else watching probably would, or someone else watching later would too. So you're helping everyone out, and I appreciate that. And you're giving me reasons to talk. You're prompting, so that's good too. Okay, so now I'm actually mix. So for watercolor, I almost never use my watercolor in white, right? But then for gouache, white is actually my most used color, believe it or not. So right now I mix a little bit of white in my orange to make it a little bit more opaque. And maybe that'll go back to the other way. Yeah. I think there's too much water right now. To let it dry. You know what I'm realizing? I'm like constantly dancing between water, paint, and time. This is water. So yeah, I'm dancing between gouache, watercolor, water, and time. But this is so bright. I love it. So let's add some pink in. So party, I'll let that dry because this is gonna be a lighter color, you know. So I let that dry. Let's go to the side first. I'm almost feeling like it's almost like painting with the numbers a little bit. So I feel like I have these sections that I'm going methodically one by one. And then probably because of that, the last painting took way longer than I thought it would. And I usually have a little test strip I forget to use sometimes for the color, just to check. I took a whole bunch of dry paint with me. So this is what it looks like when gouache was still dry. There's like a little chip. This analog color scheme looks so satisfying in this section. Thank you. This magenta, pink, and orange. It's like actually, believe it or not, it's a classic sportswear color combo. I used to be a shoe designer, and that's like something you see probably all the time from the 80s and 90s, maybe in the early 2000s. But yeah, it's pretty, yeah. I know, it is so pretty. I love it. I'm holding like 4 brushes at the same time. I'm gonna keep track of what they are. I think this was the Querdagadum, the magenta. What was this? Also, okay, let's finish this out. Also, I'm talking to you guys, so that's like a slightly level of complexity. Not complaining, but it's hard. So like this area here, Crimson, and for everyone who's watching, I will probably go in with a little bit of blue at some point. Actually, maybe I can do that now so you guys can see. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of cobalt blue watercolor, I think. Because that's kind of like the background, right? I'm gonna do something here that I have in mind. So okay, let's round this up. And then cobalt blue. Yes, I used to be a shoe designer for a long, long, long time. So I studied fashion and forward design after I graduated from universities as a art and architecture major. I guess I studied all the arts you can think of. And yeah, I was a shoe designer for a long, long time. Okay, so you see how that just cools it off. So I gotta remember I have blue in this brush. Maybe I'll use that too. Yes, I started with, women's like heels, then I moved into sneakers and whatnot. I worked for brands that you would definitely have heard of and probably own. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of clear water right now and see what comes over from their neighbors. Oh, yay. Okay. Yay. Okay, so the area is still very wet. It's like so satisfying to watch it. Super watery wash right now for the center of the flower. Not a very surprising choice for that part. I know. Some of my older paintings, I was like obsessed with anemones for a while, so they're like middle parts black and blue. But today I'm just doing a basic yellow. Oh wow, that looks amazing. Do you have to add the blue wet on wet to get this shadow effect? Um, you can add the blue in watercolor afterwards to get that effect. Yes. But I like to add it when it's wet on wet because I don't know, it gives a more interesting texture, I guess. And then let's see what happens here. Okay. Here I'm just gonna add watercolor quinacridone. I think I'm proud of myself for working with both gouache and watercolor at the same time because last year I was definitely a little bit more afraid of doing that, so I just end up working with them separately because also the transition between gouache and watercolor in terms of how they work was just a brain trip, for the lack of better words. I was almost gonna use the F word, but I won't. Because they're just so different. But this year I am learning to combine them. And it's been so fun to discover. So watercolor, some of the ink is, I think this was gouache, kind of, going back and forth to the neighbors. I like that. Then maybe we'll add a little bit of magenta to the edges at the bottom. And then maybe the tips. this side didn't, but some of the areas I did a very pale, like orange wash earlier before I started. I'll show it to you guys in a second. A little bit. There's the squash now. See this, gouache has this probably when I can do this, or watercolor, I don't think quite do that. What is the bottom? This is just clean water right now. I'm just pushing some of that pigment down. So maybe I'll have an ombre effect. I did not. I feel like I said this last time too. I should have used masking fluid. But oh well. Okay. Just gotta be careful. I'm adding the carnation rose, the carnation magenta in here, pushing the water back. And we will see what happens. But I want to go over here and paint this section now. So this is like the center of that petal, but this piece curls over a little bit. So I wanted for this to dry first before I go in and paint this section. So I'm gonna glaze with just clean water. And then I'm gonna do watercolor. Too yellow. But look how brilliant it spreads. Where it, curls is like more in the shadow. And it's wet on wet right now. It is wet on wet right now, and you see this little separation. Do I like it? I feel like I want to blend it just a little bit. So it's a clean brush with some water, and I go in between to mess that edge up a little bit. And then once they dry, hopefully it'll look pretty natural. Maybe I'll add a little bit to this side. A little bit to the corners, because corner when they curl around spaces is always darker. And then this part, I wanted to probably tone it down or tone it down, add the shadow, more shadow. So I'm gonna get a little bit of burnt umber. And it is dry, so this you can see how this looks. Some burnt umber just in the corner. Blend it out. So now you see a little bit of depth between this petal and this petal. Now I'm confused. Yeah, so this you know visually you think is further back. So now I'm probably go in and add some more brighter colors once this is dry. I do love the wet on wet technique when you know all that magic happens. But it's also, I think, one of the hardest things to control is wet on wet technique. And I think anybody who has tried watercolor can probably agree with that. But hey, you know, good things in life are also the hardest. I'm a believer in that. It always bleeds a little bit, and I sometimes it happens on accident, and I feel like it's never been a bad accident when that happens, so I'm just letting it be. Blaze this whole area, and then maybe there's a reflective light. Maybe, okay, right, okay. Maybe where there's a reflective light would change this petal to that color. This part darker. Here. Now I'm gonna try this new thing. Okay, I'm gonna glaze this petal. Okay, so this is like a petal that's also at the bottom and also top of my orbit's antenna. So this is when I wish I did masking fluid. It. So now I am glazing the surface first. I'm glazing the area. And then I'm going in with a cool magenta that has a little bit purple mix in it. careful, I don't want that to touch the top. And the water is like drying so fast already. Hi, Guri, how are you? Oh, I appreciate it. I know I am definitely trying a little bit more brighter colors right now. And, I don't know, 2026 has been not the best year for me. And I wanted to do something more brighter, happier. But I'm so glad you like it. Hope everything's well with you. I'm doing a whole fashion and vices series. I guess you can kind of also see fashion as a vice, right? Because it's like something we don't really need, but something we want because it's awesome. And it's good for you, but it's not so good for your wallet. Mm. Oh, you all as well. Yay. I can't take my eyes off painting on the wall. The color somehow works so well. Oh, that's good. Yay. Is that where your eyes go? Kind of. That's awesome to hear actually. So, if ever this piece was like on a gallery wall or something, like your eyes will probably go there first, which is what I want. So I dropped in some warmer watercolor into the gouache. Give it a little mix. Okay, now. These two seem so pale. So after these two petals are dry now, I feel like the color is not very strong. So I'm gonna go just wet on dry. It's like three colors basically. It's like magenta, yellow, and green. So RGB, there you go. Wait, not RGB, CMYK. Yeah, maybe that's why that painting is pretty much like a CNYK exercise. So we're gonna add a little bit of color to some of the areas just wet on dry now. And then we discover that to blend it, I'll just go over these edges with a clean, wet brush. And that generally does a trick for me. Okay. We'll leave that be for now. Anything else? Yeah. So now I'm gonna paint this one now. Legs. Oh, and for those of you who are just joining or who didn't see the whole painting before, because Crimson mentioned it, and now I'm proud of that painting. So I do want to show you guys the painting that's on the wall that you guys didn't get to see earlier. This is the painting I worked on last week. Definitely brighter than my usual stuff. I did all the background, and now we're getting closer. We can see all these white textures I added, which I kind of start going nuts on them because it was so fun. She's eating a couple noodles in this pristine outfit and her expensive handbag. Very, very cute shoes, cool shoes. See, I did shadow here with a purple and blue color for the reasons we talked about earlier. And then we have this little orbit kind of hiding, but kind of poking out. Because, I feel like we all know that it's a kind of contrast. Like she's all dressed up in this fashion high-end outfit, but eating a couple of noodles, and that's, the guilty pleasure in life. The vice, sometimes we just want something that's not good for you, for us. And then the orbit is the embodiment of her thoughts or inner feelings. She's kind of like hiding because maybe she knows she shouldn't be doing it, but she's doing it anyways. And that's why she's poking out, not completely hiding. So yeah. And that leads us to this next painting. So for those of you who didn't see that earlier, now there you have it. And then we're on to this painting. For her, this vice she's doing is she's smoking a cigarette. Something that I feel like it was so prominent in our pop culture, but then it disappeared, but then it's coming back. A little share. I used to be a smoker for actually a pretty decent amount of my life, and then I got wiser, and then I said I want to live a long, healthy life. But it took me a long time to quit smoking cigarettes because nicotine is one hell of a drug. I don't know if I ever shared that before. Not something I'm very proud of, but also that's life. The other thing I noticed is how nicely you have done the skin on that piece. It looks so real. Thank you. And I did show you that part of the skin. It doesn't take a whole lot to look like that. So maybe with skin piece, I know you had a question about it last week. With the skin piece, it's sometimes almost less is more. If you can just do it with like two glazes, with all the white showing and call it a day, if you can do that, you should do that. But yeah, I feel like I actually probably spend the least amount of time on the skin, believe it or not. Okay, so this is watercolor I mixed because I think in the surrounding area was more wash. Oh yeah, and then you can see the salt is adding that texture here. Now that's dry. Can't quite take that off. Some just plain old kosher salt. So skin tone, less is more. The fastest you can achieve, and usually is less. I'm just gonna color in this whole shape. So I guess I didn't really need to glaze with water there. Yes. But I feel like what I'm getting at consensus right now is people like bright colors. I'm so happy that I experimented, actually. Just add a little yellow to this corner. Make this piece orange. And another advice for anyone who's watching, I think I used to paint with all colors of the palette. Rainbow, right? It's like more color, yay. But then as I became a more mature artist, I realized that a limited palette creates better work. It might be something you already know, or it might be something you don't, but I just wanted to share that right now because I'm literally just alternating between two, maybe three colors for the piece on the wall, but also this piece I'm working on. Okay. Actually, for this, so I mixed it a little. Excuse me. So section is purely just watercolor. Watercolor. I mixed a little bit of gouache to my pen now, to this area. And you can see the instant color difference it makes, and also the hue depth value. maybe in the end, I'll let it overlap a little bit so it will go up to the corner. Yes. Watercolor is my first real traditional media, so I've only had full color palette to try and mix it. It's hard, but kind of fun. Oh, that's good. That's good practice. Almost want to say that don't add more color until you're like comfortable with it before you add. Because the more you add, I feel like it's just gonna be more confusing. But I think you'll know when that time comes. So gouache, back to watercolor. I hope this is as fun to watch as I enjoy painting right now, because how the color blends is just so magical to watch. Let's add a little bit here. Let's see what happens. If this makes anybody want to dabble in gouache, I would love to hear what your experiences are or will be. Because if you look on YouTube, there's like millions and millions of watercolor channels, but only like tens of thousands gouache channels. So there's definitely a niche market situation. And as I'm saying that out loud, I'm wondering, why don't I just do gouache? Nah, I can't leave watercolor. It's like my first love. But this makes things fun though. I think it gives both paint a different dimension that maybe otherwise is not present. So this is gouache now. Add a little bit of white. There you go. Oh yeah, so with gouache, to lift the value, you can add white, right? You add white, it makes it becomes lighter color. But you can't do that with watercolor. Maybe you already discovered that already. To lift the value with watercolor, you just have to add more water. In fact, that's like my problem. I always add too much water. Okay, I'll zoom out a little bit. So more saturated, less. So I'm probably gonna push this one back. Just do that. I'm gonna push that color back by adding a little bit of burnt Sierra. I grew up with a love for Studio Ghibli, so really hope one day I can get into gouache, but I like you. Oh, yes. Okay, so this is like the curve of the petal that like rolls around. I'm trying to see, try something. I'm just gonna glaze it with some clean water and see if it's still, oh, I don't think it's wet enough anymore. Not bad, but not enough. Just gonna leave that be for now. I think I'll go back and drop a little bit of yellow here. Is that yellow? Oh yes, Studio Ghibli. I think I mentioned this last time, maybe the time before that, but I had the I was lucky enough to go see the Studio Ghibli exhibition in the Academy Museum in Los Angeles, where they had all these old concept arts. Back then, before the computer, they were doing it with gouache, like you said, by hand on paper. And then I'm sure they, photographers scan it for background and stuff. It like brought tears to my eyes. It just brought tears to me just looking at all the artwork they did for the movie. Like Hong Yao or the under ocean sea creatures. It was just, yeah, another world. So if anyone is in the same have shared the same passions Crimson and I for this kind of stuff, if you're ever in Los Angeles, definitely go see that. Seeing being used more now. Yay, I'm glad. Okay, so I'm going to drop a little bit of yellow, paler yellow compared to this one. Yes. Oh, yes, that should be. Speaking of Studio Ghibli, I just started reading I take my daughter to the library, and a book title caught my eye, Kiki's Delivery Service. I'm sure you guys all heard of that movie from Studio Ghibli, but what I didn't know is that it actually was a book first from this Japanese writer. So I started reading the book, but what really got to me was the author's note in the very beginning about how she was inspired to write the book. It was from a drawing that her daughter did of a witch flying on broom with a cat and musical notes. And she started thinking about there's a story there, and she started talking about how, like when she's writing, she is in a different world and all is well, and how it's gonna get emotional, but how it is so magical for someone with something that of meaning. In this case, for her is writing, where she can, no matter what happens in life, she has that place to escape to. And then if anyone has something special like that in your life, like that's the meaning of life, that you should keep going, never let money or anything else like detract you from finding your meaning in life. And that brought tears to my eyes, because being an artist is hard. It's not like especially if you're trying to make it as a professional artist, make some money from it. It's probably one of the hardest things I had to do. So sometimes, Trevor and I talk about this. There are times when you feel like you want to give up. Sometimes you're like, is this worth it? But reading that just proved everything for me, that when you have something of meaning like that in life, and in my case, it's absolutely painting, that you cannot give up on it no matter what happens. And I hope for those who are listening and watching, if you ever had doubts about what you do, and if you should, and if you find true meaning, but if it's something that you find true meaning, that you cannot give that up, okay? Let's all make a promise. No matter how hard it gets, we cannot give that up. So yes, I am very happy to have come across that book, and then come across that edition with the author's note. And I digress. So this is gouache. I said, what was I doing before I got emotional about that? Oh yeah. Oh, I'm glad that's because Crimson, you resonated. Resonance is, I think we're all looking for a little bit of resonance in life right now, especially with everything that's going on, all the crazy shenanigans that's happening in the world. You just want want to be understood and be free, I guess. So I mixed some cool reds here, but this corner. Keep honing our crafts, keep going, and keep finding magic in those things that we do. I am going to add some more of this color in this corner. One of my biggest are not going to are my typical Asian parents pushed me into medicine, but I don't think I enjoy it that much anymore. Oh, so wait, are you a doctor or something? And that is such a typical story. I know so many friends who shares the same sentiment. And I feel like the lucky ones realize it and then get them out of it. And you do hear success stories all the time, right? And then there are the unlucky ones who just can't get out because of whatever reason. Like sometimes I know that you do have to make a living to pay your bills before you can dream. So I know that a lot of people are stuck in that situation. But I do know from personal experience that if that was like that inner child being an artist is in you, no matter what happens, no matter what you do and moving away to do something else, that inner child comes out and like punch you in the face from time to time. And you're like, and then you just you can't breathe almost. It's like, everything else you do in life is meaningless because you're not pursuing your dreams. I think I can go on about that, but as is. So you're moving to Vancouver soon, sweetheart. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Truly. Um, so happy to hear that, Crimson. That takes a lot of courage, like I said, because a lot of us have bills to pay. And maybe it's a fear. Maybe you feel like you're too old now, it's already too late. There could be so many reasons we stop ourselves from doing these things, right? But I'm glad that it didn't stop you, and I'm glad that you're doing it. It will be hard, but it will be rewarding. And I don't know if you guys notice, I feel like I'm over manipulating this area now, so I'm gonna back out of that area and then move on and let that dry. I'm also totally confused about what colors I have on what brush. I should restart, wash everything and restart. So you should be proud of yourself, Crimson. That's amazing. I feel like I was pretty lucky that I used to be in consulting, which is very much business. And I did that for like a little bit in my life, and I was like, no way in hell, I'm not doing this. I'm out. And then I got into design, which was good. And now I'm doing art. Just washed all my brushes because I was confused about what brushes what now. Okay. Right. Okay, so I feel like I need to do a little bit of reset now. Is it too bright right now? I do like this. Okay, cool. Okay, you know what? I am going to add a little bit of that vermilion hue into my Carnarvon rose to warm it up a little bit. It's working respiratory medicine, but I'll be switching to primary care in Vancouver. And I want to open a video game studio at some point, but traditional art is what I'll be doing. Traditional art is what I'll be doing for me. Oh, that's awesome. I see. So you was right. So yeah, you gotta get your basic needs taken care of. Like the bills paid first. You'll be working part-time, and then you'll have more time and space to pursue your art and open a video game studio like a like a like an internet cafe but for video games, or like make video games. I think both are great plans. I just want to get, but I think making video games, it's probably a crazy endeavor. So I feel like I was over manipulating this area. So I'm gonna pull it back, reset, like water glaze it with that color, and then dropped in some yellow. I'm just gonna leave that be. Let it breathe. I'm gonna go over here to add a little bit of the magenta color. Oh no, sorry, I know it's a video company on my own. They're called studios. Oh, okay, so you are gonna make video games. Whoa, that sounds amazing. Do you know what kind of video games yet? Or you're just starting to? I'm assuming you play a lot of video games. Maybe not a lot, because if you're in medicine, you probably don't have the time. So this area is water glaze with watercolor now. Let's think out loud. I'm going to go in, I think, with some wash. The bottom. I think. So this petal is pretty clear. And in the end, I probably will go over the edges with colors again. Yeah, so that's good. What is going on here? Play Dungeons and Dragons, a version for a role-playing game, a second cell shaded as second. Oh, 3D cell shaders. I love that. So like 2D shaded. So basically like a video game, but in like a Studio Ghibli kind of look and feel. Oh, I love that. Not gonna lie, I feel like I'm kind of like tired of those hyper real 3D super rendered when you can't tell if it's like real or not anymore. There's definitely on my end anyways, craving for something that's true illustration art. In fact, I think that is a trend now that I'm talking about it, because like if you look at all the fashion brands and advertising, they're going back to like true handmade animation again as a rebellion towards AI. Okay, so this is actually just background color. So petal ends, background color begins. This like pink smoke continues. So this is what I have it so far. I think I probably need to add a little bit more texture to the top at some point. Yes, yes, yes. Very brilliant here. Now let's do this area. I usually leave this one paint at last because that does require a lot of gouache and blending and concentration. I hope so. I'm not spamming your chat. I feel kind of bad. Oh, no worries. You're keeping me talkative, which is good. But yeah, anyone else in the chat that would like to, come in and talk to me and tell me what you're up to, you're more than welcome. But Crimson, you shouldn't feel bad whatsoever. Now let's change gear a little bit. I feel there's a lot of so this part, this here, I don't love how that there's a huge separation right now. So I'm gonna go in with that color and kind of, it's not as opaque as the first go. So it's pretty watery right now. Kind of fill in some of that separation. I'm taking it a bit, that cool red, and for the top. So I basically end up repainting this one, I guess. But with a little bit of first layer already, so it's not as intense. And maybe that color will go into the side a little bit. I was trying to not wash my brushes as often as possible, but that's working out. Okay, so what color do I want to play? Oh, and I don't know if you can see, but I did wash some of the area with this very nude wash already. I think that gives a little bit of warmth to some of the colors. But let's do that here. Lay this giant section here. Placed that section. Something bold. This is gouache mixed of yellow, golden, like a warm golden yellow, and orange. see if that'll, too dry. Darn it. And back to the orange color. And then adding some white to my color so it's more opaque. And then let's see what happens. That in this area, so blend this better. I think I should bring some of the orange to this area. And for everyone who's watching, if you have any questions about what I'm doing, if you could give the live a like, a thumbs up, a repost, that would be so awesome. Okay. I do have this habit of talking out loud. I do that even when I'm not live streaming, I think. So I hope I'm not saying any nonsense. Okay. So I think I explained in the beginning that some areas I want to be very defined, very like concrete, and then there's the background textures, that smokiness that I'm trying to create that's further in the back. So there's a contrast. And then for the painting I did here, I kind of try to do that with the, really true background, but in some areas are more defined, some are not. But I think this one is even better. Well, I know why I did that in the beginning. I washed it because I washed the background with that beige color because in case there's white that left behind, it won't be white. It actually has a color. Who's your biggest inspiration art-wise? It changes, but I feel like usually the first name that comes to my mind is James Jean, for sure. He is a Taiwanese American artist. If you look up his art, I'm sure you'll kind of see some of his influence in mine. James Jean for sure. And then Murakami, some of his older stuff. And then who else? I should write this down when people ask me. I'm adding a little bit of blue here. James Jean, Murakami. Who else? Monet. That's one of the oldies, goodies. I just love, I mean, the color, you can probably see the color or the pastel colors I use are very impressionist, and I just love the softness of Monet's art. And if I think of any, I'm sure there are more, but if I think as I think of them, I'll share. I add a little bit blue just to break up all the pinkness. I think I'm gonna go back up to some of the areas and add that blue because I like that sudden cooling. Yeah, I like it. Yes, right. And you know, the thing that I haven't done that I feel like I need to is to um, kind of add some of my Chinese heritage into my art. I just haven't done that. Sometimes I'm like scared to being in America, especially with how things are, but I feel like I might need to lean into that more. 'Cause there are just so many Chinese and Asian like elements and storytelling that I could do, you know? And yes, I am Chinese American if I haven't shared that with you before. I guess it is on my profile. But yeah, now that we're talking about it, I haven't really done a lot of things that's specifically influenced by Chinese culture. Hmm, maybe we need to change that. Oh, that's awesome. With like the the shumi ink, or with like watercolor. It's so bold and fun. Yeah. You're seeing all these like Instagram videos of people, just can make a bird in one stroke. It's like, wow, the amount of practice that takes to make that one stroke, I know is also crazy. Like just, like calligraphy, people write letters, but to write the letters, characters the way they do takes like years, if not decades practice. In gouache, so that means you'll probably have played around with oh my gosh, what's going on here? Played around with just black and white artwork. Yeah. So I just glaze these areas. Let's see how I'm going to. I think I just drop in a little bit of color so that this area is not focused. And this part bottom is probably going to be darker because the shoes will probably cast a shadow at some point. And Trevor in the audience, I know, have collected or maybe still is collecting like Chinese cultural influenced artwork, right? You told me you have a collection of opera masks, Chinese opera masks, which is they're just so crazy and cool. Definitely a lost art, kind of lost art though. Yes, just now I should use a Winsor Newton ink, water ink, mixed water. Oh, interesting. I in fact have that exact ink. And I have the white one that I used to use. And I have a jar of gold ones, which is like, I'll show you. I have a jar of gold ones. I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna, what I'm gonna use it for, but it's like liquid gold. So cool. I did read that gold is becoming a more popular color this coming year, so maybe I'll do some gold inspired art at some point. But mix that with water, I would never think to do that, but brilliant if that works. So right now I'm just using watercolor. Yes, spread a little. I'm just using watercolor because I want this area to be more soft. Let's see. A dream that I can paint watercolor like those Chinese watercolor masters. It's like one stroke. It's a thing. It's kind of connected, a little bit abstract. Cool. I'm trying to not leave too much white in the background. Some blue here, cooler. Thank you, Trevor. I think so far, so maybe a little bit of blue here. maybe add some purple to that. I feel like when I use purple, it's kind of cheating a little bit because it is a mixture of blue and pink. But it is also a new color I'm introducing. So maybe the bottom corner of this painting now. Oop. But one day I can get. Oh, you will get there. And I think a lot of it is the more you work with it, the intuition that comes. But I also mentioned in the beginning that I'm very much limiting myself to these four colors. So for the exact reason that you mentioned, that I don't have to choose. So I'm just alternating, and then I kind of plan which part I want to stand out, which part I want to make it recess. But you will get there. You absolutely will get there. And there's obviously a lot of room for my own improvement as well. I think for me, I think I need to work on the cool and warm colors. Um, that's something that I know I need to work on. Squash. And you know what? If you mess up, just keep going because most people can't really tell. And then another thing I also learned is that give the 24-hour rule. Everything looks better if you just step away, come back every time. So that's cool. And magenta's like being very stubborn today. I want to show up. I say on my live stream all the time that sometimes when the painting enters the ugly phase, which is like, between the 20% to 80%, it looks crappy. And then, maybe before I will give up and thinking it's going nowhere. But I also notice that if you just keep going, when the last 20%, everything just comes together a lot of times. Not every time, but a lot of times it does. And then I'm going to switch to watercolor. I do feel like my last painting was like, quote unquote, neater. This one's a bit more chaotic. should we do? I like all that blue that's going through, so maybe we'll add just a little bit of blue. I think this is already too dry, but maybe here. It's also another trick I got. When you feel like there's too much color in any section, I like to just drop some water droplets, and then the water kind of pushes the paint back, and sometimes it salvages it. Like this right here. Not bad. I know what to do here. So when I come back, I'm gonna do a little bit of patterning. Let's move on to this. This girl's definitely in that ugly phase right now. Everything just feels messy, feels like it's not quite done. And I know that last painting was at that point too, so I have faith. I have faith. So this area I'm probably gonna make it not as so bright and saturated because the central figure, she's kind of framed by these bright clusters. So yeah, this should probably not be so bright. We have this little bit of wash with a good amount of white. Go in with some watercolor. Brighten up the edge a little bit. The spreads, yes. Also, I made a video about, the difference between professional grade and student grade painting. If you get art paint, what I find that to do these like spreading action, the professional paint definitely kind of need it because the student grade just doesn't have enough of that pigment to push it. So if you're using student grade paint and you're wondering why your paint is not doing that spreading action, there's a reason for it. It doesn't have enough pigment in the paint. But that is all. It's not you. Sometimes I forget what's on my brush and I end up mixing gouache and watercolor together. And then now I'm like, oh, actually, it's fine. It's fine. Whoa, that's a bit red. Maybe that's okay. Well, the veininess of this structure is cool. Suddenly wondering, did I just make that too bright? Is such thing even possible? Because I always complain about the opposite. Oh, let's eclipse this part a little bit. If you want to paint to spread, I'm experienced painting with this technique, okay? So I'm dropping the paint just in the middle, kind of spread both ways. Manipulating a little bit. And then I go back in with that same color in gouache. Also keep on going in the middle. So basically the watercolor pushes the water away. And then I go back in with the gouache that pushes the watercolor away. And I guess I imagine you can just keep going, but I don't want a muddiness, so I'll stop. Fun texture. Oh, fun texture here that I just did. Maybe we'll do that here. No, it's too bright already. Okay, but maybe we'll do that here. Oh, did you guys see that? The water eclipsed that a little bit and all the color just suddenly got suctioned down. That's cool. The suddenness of it kind of took me by surprise. this area since it is at the edge now. And if you guys see this part, that's totally created by accident by the water paint itself. I did not intend to that, but I love it. I'm gonna keep it, and then probably gonna go back and accentuate this line. I always say when you paint with watercolor, like water is actually doing like half of your work. Which is why I had such a struggle with gouache in the beginning. It's like, wait, I gotta paint the whole thing. And then I gotta do. Let's see what happens here. I keep on saying, let's see what happens here, because I really don't know what happens sometimes when I drop in the color. So it's doing this wonderful spreading around the edges now. Love it. I'll keep that. Maybe I'll do a bit here. Okay, cool. Let's leave that be. Just hoping it doesn't do too much in the end that it just becomes non-existent. Okay, let's do it. Oh, you see what I did again? Dang it, I should have painted this section, but that's okay. So I'm gonna be careful because I don't want to get over my hand and then get it over my other part of the painting. This is just plain old gouache on dry because I'm being lazy right now. And I did a little bit of wet. So this is like a dry on wet? No, wet on dry technique. Yes, I went in wet dry first and then wet it. And it's a little too wet, so I'm gonna stuck it up with a paper towel. And then, come on, keep going this way. Okay, it's pretty. I'm anxious to get to the other large flowers. But I'm spending too much time on this one right now. I feel like for the last whole year, I did not use this quinacridone rose, and this year, I feel like that's all I've been using. It's cool. Rose at the tips. Such a pretty cool color. Yeah. And I'm gonna add then color set. I am going to get a little. So this is watercolor. Already. And then I'm gonna actually add a little bit of gouache now at the bottom. Let's see what happens. Whoa. Be a little bit more brighter. Again, this is a pretty watery gouache right now, but because it has a little bit of white in it, it also feels very opaque. Not ruining this by going too crazy with the colors. Awesome. Nope, see, sometimes I'm trying to be lazy, but nope, you need to glaze this area first to get that fracturing, the blooming. Some people notice that some people call it blooming. I call it fracturing, but it's the same thing. You get what I'm trying to say. Maybe this edge will have a little bit of that color. Okay, this area is my favorite. Maybe I need to bring this up. For the rogue petal here. I'm gonna bring some purple, some lavender with this blue color. Okay. I'm really just playing right now with paint. Cool. Okay, I better stop before it goes crazy. Okay, it's kind of messy looking right now, I think. So I'm gonna stop myself. Oh, this part's cool. It's coloring all this white area. I don't like what that white dots is showing. Oh yeah, this yeah. The bloominess, the blooming, the fracturing. Yeah. I wonder if there's actual technical term for it, Trevor. Um, okay, so that's cool. And then this area, maybe I'll do just a little bit of blue to kind of tone it down so that it's not just blue in that one area. I think next time I should go more abstract with these. Ooh, okay. Oh, yeah, I think I need to let that area dry without making a mess. Anywhere here I can do. Pinky, when you do the character, will you be using a complementary color scheme or something different? Can you tell us about your process? Okay. That's a good idea, actually. I didn't think about that, but I think I was gonna use the not necessarily complementary, because if you look at the last piece, I kind of pulled in some of the colors for the background for the dress for her. But I do feel like after it's done, it's like they're kind of blending in together for the better or worse. Maybe that's not a bad thing because I do think it looks cohesive, but maybe it could use more contrast. So for this one, I was gonna do the opposite actually. So you can see, kind of feel, all the background is like pink and more pink and less orange, and then with a blend of yellow and blue here and there. Trying to fill that in. So I was gonna do the dress, the girl, in the opposite. So it'll be more orange and more orange and less pink. Because I don't want to do pink on pink because I think that would be crazy too much. So my plan was doing the opposite. But now that you mentioned it, I'll do a little test swatch on the side. So if I did it in a blue color, I think it would look good too. The smoke will be blue, so that'll be kind of cool. Yeah, but I'm not gonna do something for this, and I think I won't do anything that's like drastic different, right? Um, I think that in the end, it's really the energy, what energy I want to convey, right? So the blue will be more toned down, somber. Orange will be more energetic. She's smoking a cigarette though, so which way does that go? I'm not sure yet. But I will think on that. But then I won't do like a green or something completely different because then I feel like you would just feel like a sticker. I'm just pasting like a separate thing on because it is a surreal painting. I hope all that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, I think blue might work here too. So the purse would probably be pink and orange, combination of that. Maybe the dress will be blue. Now how to make her shoes blue. Maybe that's not too much blue. We'll see. But But yeah, my original plan was to do her in the opposite color, and then in that way I can use the shadow in blue to kind of lift her off the paper, if that makes sense. Okay, now let's do this upper corner now. I kind of did the left side of it. I'm gonna do the upper corner so my hand doesn't drag on the paper. I'm also realizing this upper part is like kind of far away from me, so I might have to step on a stool to get to it. Always an awkward situation. But if you look at my past characters, they're pretty much the same palette as the background. Actually, I don't really use my past pieces. I didn't really use to paint a whole lot of background, actually. I think I was stuck on the fact that, a lot of traditional watercolor paintings you see is like on white paper, right? So the background's always white. So I feel like for my last year, my work pretty much was kind of following that rule where the background, yeah, I put a bit of texture, a little bit wash to it, but the foreground, the characters and the flowers are always the main focus. So this year, I'm definitely venturing into ways that's more daring by actually putting a lot of effort into the background. So we'll see how that comes out. Trevor says you like the idea. Which one? The blue dress idea? Did that make sense? Did that resonate? So let's go from inside out, I think. Yes. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna switch to a bigger brush because this area feels bigger. Is bigger. I like the jar of color I made today. It's like orange, pink. Just like my painting. Sometimes it ends up really ugly, but today I like it. Blue, okay, got it. Yeah, I like that. Thank you for that idea, Crimson. I was like, maybe if I do like orange, it'd be like too much to look at. And then she won't stand out as much. Got it. You are fine. Sometimes I get pretty stubborn though, so you might not be able to influence me, but we'll see. But I do like the blue ideas growing on me. I think it'll look nice. I think my original idea is because I wanted to make it like a more tonal, like a tonal kind of painting. But I think after I was done with this last piece, I realized that the complementary palette is stronger. It will stand out on the screen more. And as we know, if I'm posting this on the internet or something, it's a crowded place and I want it to stand out. Just all gouache right now. I added a bit white to this area. Now some watercolor at the bottom. Oh, it's pretty bright. Oh yeah, forgot I had this color. Okay. I have this palette color called Cherry Blossom, which is perfect for this area, I think. Right now I'm just coloring on paper right now. And then I'm going to come down, and eclipse this area a little bit. See, that white really has so much influence. See, my last piece that's on the wall behind me, I did a lot of abstract shape for the background, right? And then after I was done, it's like I was afraid that I might have gone too far from my usual original character style. I don't know why I thought that. So then I went back and did this one with more floral representational background. Actually, at this point, I'm not sure which one's better. But once they're done, I guess I'll do a comparison. But I think after talking to you guys today, I just realized I shouldn't be afraid of completely change. It's not like I'm some famous artist yet already that changing style will get collectors and galleries cry murder. Like I should experiment. Which is a real thing. Once you're a more established artist, you don't really get that kind of freedom to just experiment whatever style you want. It's pretty saturated right now. I'm gonna eclipse it here. Yes. Let's just go away. It's so saturated, it's just go away. Should keep on adding it though. This color scares me a little bit. Nice to see a series of paintings like these. Okay, that's exciting. Okay. Yeah, I really wasn't sure, but I'm gonna do it. It's very fun for me to do these because like I said, I'm just playing. I'm playing with both kind of medium and I'm playing with just what accidents could happen. Well, I never imagined I would say that. I'm like looking for accidents, but so very cool, very warm. Not good or bad idea. Not sure yet. Time is it? Oh wow. Oh wow. Are we okay? Been going for a while. Okay, so I have like these half of paintings artwork to do. Um, I'm wondering if I should. My plan was to finish this background and then get to the character. Since last time I finished, I I did the character live with you guys and I did background on my own. So today I'm doing the opposite. But now I'm wondering if I should, because I'm kind of getting tired of painting this. I'm wondering if I should switch to the foreground first. But then I'm wondering if that's gonna mess up my flow. This is something I've never done before, actually. Let's see how we feel in a little bit. So this way, you guys at least can get a taste of both process. This color is so brilliant. What happened to here? Flips a little bit. Oh. Accident. Yes. So far, I haven't had any big oh crap moments. Knock on wood. Okay, this is very wet right now, I'm afraid. Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, it's very wet right now. I'm afraid if I keep on going, it's gonna mess some stuff up. So we're gonna come back down here and do this part first. This part is darker because those flower petal probably cast a shadow. Look at that. Blend. I think my problem is still over blending. I really should not. I notice in some areas when you do that, it becomes muddy. So if you can help it, try to blend as little as possible. I know sometimes it cannot be helped. Carefully leave a little gap. until here. Clips. Also, for it to spread properly, because I'm experiencing that right now, the water amount needs to be just right. Otherwise, if it's too wet, it won't spread. And it's just something we're constantly tweaking and adjusting. So this area is very wet. It's doing a little bit of blending, but not too much. Well, it is, but it's like not that dramatic bloom. So for that dramatic bloom happen, it can be too wet, it can be too dry. There's definitely a Goldilocks zone there. What color should I do this area? I think I like the original. This color here, let's do that. Also this brand Kansan is a Japanese, the other Japanese brand I use. It's very pigmented because it comes in a cake. So I guess I alternate between the tube watercolor and the cake watercolor. I like that blend because it gives me the textures I need. Is that too pinkish? Maybe let's tone it down here. It's very wet right now. I'm scared to work in that area, so I'm gonna come to the side. We'll leave this area alone, come back to this side. It's more dry here. Oh, why did I leave that up? Still using that quinacridone magenta, but this has like all sorts of colors mixed in it now. I don't even know what it is anymore. It's like a mix of that peach, no, that cherry blossom color, and a mix of the vermilion hue. And then I'm gonna, what is this? Oh, nice. I don't want to do anything there. Okay. I'm just gonna let that spread. I'm gonna add a little bit of the vermilion hue at the end, actually. Spread. And then maybe here in the center, where the center of the flower sometimes is darker. And then in between, I'm gonna do this color. Maybe a little bit of cool red. I don't know why I left out part white when I painted this piece, this area. Oh, oops. I was off screen this whole time. You guys didn't miss much. I just painted this top part. I'm wondering when I paint this girl, when I paint her cigarette, it's gonna make me want to have one. The vices we have in life. Sometimes some things just never goes away. The craving. This watercolor this is a brand. I'm sure you're seeing these on Instagram, these palettes for our supply stores. Saturated, love it. And I'm gonna do a little bit of that gouache in the middle. Hit it with a bit of gouache in the middle. Oh. I can hear my cat coming up to see. Cat coming. She's gonna go meow soon. Not blending that. Don't blend that. Accident. Magenta has to be my favorite color of them all. It's literally my go-to color. Sometimes I had to last year I think I had to stop myself from using it too much. And actually my hair color is a magenta. It's like really light magenta because I couldn't find a out of box pink color that I liked. They're all either like too coral, too hot, was it too coral, it always have too much orange in it, or like too dark. So I mix blue into this color I buy. But it just does, this Cornacridone watercolor especially, it's just like nothing else. I don't have an equivalent in gouache, so I'm kind of faking it, but it doesn't even does it justice. Yeah, this Cornacridone rose is just so pretty. So pretty, I want to cry. And then the magenta equivalent of my tube is actually kind of this color, you can see. So it has a little bit of a black in it, if I may say. I love how it harmonizes. I'm happy to hear that, because sometimes when I'm just looking at it in parts, it doesn't feel that way, but I know if I pull back a little bit, if I pull back, aka the next day, it is. And another trick I learned, I think I share on screen, is that I sometimes have to look into my camera screens because I'm sure you guys heard this trick, but thumbnail, even though they're small, it kind of tells you the essence of a piece. If the thumbnail looks good, then it's more likely that the rest of your painting will look good. But if your thumbnail looks bad, there's no way the rest of your painting will look good. Does that make sense? If a thumbnail looks good, then when you zoom out, it could still look bad. But if a thumbnail looks, oh my gosh, what am I saying? If thumbnail looks good when you pull out, there's still a chance, pull back. There's still a chance that the rest of the painting doesn't. But if a thumbnail looks bad, then there's no way when you zoom out, the rest of the painting will look good. Oh my gosh, that took all my brain power to say. So yeah, this edge is blending nicely. Let's push that a little bit, push it around. And then I think I'm gonna add a little bit of that dark, cool red. What breed is your cat, Pinky? She is just a common street cat that we rescued. She's like your most typical cat. Common catus, Felis catus. Common street cat. Grew up in the streets. Likes white bread. Used to be fat. We're on a diet. Now she's more reasonable. She's very talkative though. But yeah, I love having a cat. I do also have a dog. It was kind of iffy in the beginning, but now they're like buddies. The cutest thing. So yeah, now we pull back a little bit. Oh, that looks cool. Very dreamy. Let's pull out even more. See the rest of it. Okay. This part needs work. That was my progress check. Yep, I totally get what you mean. I zoom out constantly in digital to make sure. Yeah, exactly. It's slightly easier to do in digital. Not that it's easier, but here I sometimes forget to do that. I forget to step back. I just get so into it. So looking at the camera screen is actually a good just say. Let's eclipse, yeah, okay. Eclipse a little bit. Here. And I'm doing wet on wet right now. As you can see, sometimes when it dries, it doesn't quite look where I want it to be. And then I'll go in with a second wash. And then they'll be like wet on dry a lot of times because I want to have more control over how the color goes. Right now I'm being pretty free with it. I like painting these large petals than the small ones. Like there's more room for me to have these accidents, happy accidents. Who's guilty of this? Watching funny cat videos until when it's way too late, way past your bedtime. Doesn't happen very often, but it happens. I just want to, as a cat owner, it's all very relatable. Cats are crazy, but sometimes I just want to know what they're thinking, you know? Whoa, is that too red? Maybe it is. Okay, I just added more magenta. So see now, the little trick I do is now I look at it, there's like so much pink and different shades of pink happening. So then I'll go in with a little bit of yellow to kind of break that up. Probably should have just dropped it. Oh, so the two girls for some reason I find them extra funny late at night when everyone's sleeping. I had to try really hard not to laugh. Okay, so I'm glad I'm not the only one, especially late at night sometimes. Okay, yes. Do you have any pets, Crimson? Yes. Let's do a little bit darker in this corner. That's pretty. Maybe I'll bring it over here. Yes. Let's try this. See, now I go all the way around. Now this area's dry now. Ooh, boom. Yes. A pet's a moment, but I really want a ragdoll cat or Russian blue. Ooh, yes, their faces are so funny. Our cat's high maintenance. Um, yes and no, because if if you're someone who travels a decent amount, then I think cats are less maintenance because you could just leave them at home and they are pretty self-sufficient for at least a week or so, right? So in that regard, I appreciate the flexibility of them because there's no way you can do that with a dog. So we had to find dog sitters. Um, but emotionally, I feel like they are. But I also hear different depending on your cat's personality, it also varies. However, I saw that on Instagram with Reel that your cats end up acting exactly like your cat. How your cat is to you is exactly how you are to them. So if you're an asshole to them, then they'll probably be an asshole to you, kind of thing. To put it bluntly, right? Um, but are they high maintenance? Like for my cat, cause she's a just straight up street cat. I don't need to get her like groomed or nail trimmed, things like that. Oh, I guess I should get her nail trimmed. But I don't, so she doesn't really scratch up anything unless she really wants to let me know something's on her mind. Um, so I don't know if I answer your question at all. Is cat high maintenance? Emotionally, yes. Literally, no, I guess. That's my short answer. Uh, Also, funny story. I learned that, she's sleeping during the day. I like to just come up to her and pet her and snuggle her when she's sleeping, which what I didn't realize is she thinks that that's okay for her to do as well. So she does that sometimes to me in the middle of the night, which is not good. So now I try not to disturb her when she's sleeping. Hopefully she got that hint. Little bit of bloomy happens. Your cat is lucky to have found you. Yes, she is. Otherwise, she'd be left on the street. She was born in a in the city, in the back alley of a city, in a dumpster. No joke. So I say she won the lottery of being adopted. For a while, we were able to like see her family on the dumpster street, but not anymore. I don't know where they went, so maybe they got they got the notice. I just realized I have not actually washed my brush in a while. I just kept on layering colors for the better or worse. But I did just brush it now because I need to use a different color. That's right. Still pretty wet. I'm just gonna use some do that. And I'm gonna do just a nope, not a color quality. I really like this color combinations, magenta with bright this orange, the million. Because it's just so energetic. It's just so high octane. But I do realize maybe it's not enough contrast. See, if Crimson you didn't mention the complementary, I didn't think about it, I probably wouldn't notice, but now since some things cannot be unseen. So, oops. I'm gonna go back and add some more blues and whatnot. Let's see, okay. But I think overall cats are less maintenance than dogs. There you go. Sorry, I was still thinking about that. Oh no, not at all. And so you, Trevor, I think this is the awesome part about being live and have an audience because there are ideas and thoughts that you wouldn't normally have, but then you do have someone to talk to, and then you do have an audience that gives you ideas, and I think that's amazing. In fact, I read in this book, The Creative Way, it's a great book if any artist wants to know more about what it means to be an artist of this life you chose to live. In fact, one of the things that they suggested to bring you out of a creative rut, if you're ever in one, is to do it in front of an audience. Because with the audience, your own perspective changes. And these conversations we're having right now is definitely stimulating my brain in a way that I wouldn't have on my own. So I have to thank you guys for being here, for, hanging out with me for the past few hours. It is something that I won't be able to have in real life, sadly. But now that thought is set in motion. We'll see where it ends up. Too much. Put some here. Okay, let's see. It is 3:30 my time. Let's see. I might have to find a good place to stop. So maybe I'll paint like 2 more flowers. I'm getting tired, that's why. But I also want to get to a good stopping point. Otherwise, I hate it when I have to like abruptly stop an artwork. Sometimes it happens. It cannot be helped. Love or hate? Let's see. Do you have any else? I didn't mean to influence. Do you have any else? Do you have any interest outside of painting? Yes. I love skiing. I look forward to winter, and I'm jealous that you're moving to Vancouver because Whistler is an awesome ski mountain that I only been to once. Um, and recently, I also picked up ice skating because there's no snow this year. There's like, I don't know where else snow went. Oh, it went to East Coast, I guess. So recently I started learning how to ice skate and I love it. So skiing, ice skating, I guess that's all winter sports, huh? And then in the summer I stay inside because I don't want to be in the sun. I'm so Asian. Um, I don't want to I don't want to have any sunspots. I don't want to be in the sun. So in the summer, I just stay home and paint. I'm laughing as I'm talking about it. What other things? I'm not a very sporty person. I like to go on vacations, but I guess that's not a hobby, I guess. Seeing new places, but not so much a hobby than the luxury that we get to have sometimes. I love reading, but I guess that's not really a hobby. It's just something that we do. There you go. Whoa. I love adding this blue, just changes the mood of the painting. I do love that. But also we had to be mindful that it doesn't change it too much. Which I'm still wondering if that would do it if I did the whole dress in blue. At least blue petals are great though. I also like that particular blue. It's like a steel gray blue. That's what's it called, which is more almost gray, very, very cool and dark. Oh, yes, my daughter and I can't wait to see Winter Olympics, and we can't wait to see the figure skating. My daughter and I already made dates to definitely do that. Oh, hold on, hold on, hold on. Eek. It's pretty bright. Not as bright. Hmm. Feel like I've gone too watery with this layer, but maybe it'll be okay. We'll see how it ends up. You notice how this is more saturated, and I love how is that becoming. This is more watery, more light, but then there's more texture, which I don't mind. Hmm. Okay. I think I gotta be careful with the next one. This one, and then there's this one and this one. I just gotta make sure these two are properly saturated. Yes. And then again, it's better to go light than dark, obviously. I can always go back and add more. I can't do the opposite. Oh, I know. It's like defy gravity, right? The figure skating when they do the spin, and I think they score by how many spins you get. So like 3 times is like standard. You can do 4 times, which is like unhumanly, but now more and more skaters can do that. I don't know if 5 times is even like humanly possible, but who knows? It might be. Oh, oh shoot. Oh, it's okay. It's pretty dry. That's one fart. This blue is very stubborn to stay on my brush and won't wash out, but we'll see how that affects the base color. Okay, guys, I think let's see how much longer I can go. I think after this cluster I'm gonna stop, but I'm so close. Okay, we'll see how we feel after this. What about you guys? Any hobbies? Any interesting hobbies? I I know that some people they like to try all different things, right? But I feel like I'm definitely someone who, okay, this color is like amazing. I just want to stop and say that. But I'm someone, if I learn something and do something, I want to be as good at it as possible. And that means you have to dedicate time and energy for it, right? So I don't pick up a whole lot of hobbies, but I spend a lot of time on them. But I know some people they love to try all different things and they don't take themselves so seriously about being good or not, which I definitely admire as well. Love the sunglasses. I know, isn't she so fab with sunglasses? Something about wearing giant sunglasses. You're just instantly in an elevated position. Hmm. I do street photography and astrophotography. Whoa. Photography is the theme I see in the audience. Oh wow, that's awesome. I wish I knew more about photography for sure. So Crimson said you're jack of all trades. You like to learn, enjoy all kinds of stuff. Nice. So you're like one of those people I admire that like, wow, they know a little bit about everything, which I think is very multidimensional. And Trevor loves music. Yes, I know that. Music. Whoa, is this too much? I like that there's a little bit gap in between this and it's kind of blending in. So I think I'm gonna keep that. Add more yellow here. Astrophotography. I don't even know what that is actually. What is that? Sounds fascinating though. Oh, that area looks great. It's almost very abstract. Everyone knows what astrophotography is. I need to know what this is. Just as the term describes, um, of the cosmos of the. Oh my gosh, I lost my thoughts. Where was I going with this? Photography of stars. Yes, I just looked it up. You have a telescope deep. Oh, oh, that's so cool. Yeah, totally. And I'm guessing you will be, or both of you guys are good at constellation and know like where they are, what they are in the sky. That's awesome. When I first heard of it, when I first saw the word, you know, sometimes I don't have a lot of common sense, and it's common for artists, so whatever. I was like astrophotography. I immediately thought about um, like astrophysics, it's like photography of, and I actually was start thinking about astrology, which I guess also means, some constellation involved. But then I start thinking, oh, there's like mapping of someone's soul, like personality kind of thing. I don't know how my mind went there. Excuse me, guys. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I wonder about myself. Yellow to this area. Just a little bit, so it doesn't look too crazy. It's made for night photo. Oh wow. Yes, nighttime photo is hard. Ugh, I think it's a little too watery here. Heart and Soul Nebula. Ooh, that sounds awesome. Why is it called Heart and Soul? Besides that, I'm sure it has a certain wavelength that makes it look red, I'm guessing. There's a little bit of background here. I know my eyes are getting tired when I'm like losing track of shapes. I should have got use clean water here. Use a little bit clean water and then let that come out of it. Oh wow, that's so cool. I had to look that up, the Heart and Soul Nebula. I'm guessing if you guys like astral photography, you must also like astronomy and all the things about the great unknown that is the universe. Sometimes when I think about universe, it brings tears to my eyes because you just realize how small and insignificant you feel. And I imagine that when you guys are shooting those, taking pictures of those things that you feel that way. Humans really are just so insignificant in the greater universe, and sometimes we just get so hung up with our own crap that we lose sight of the bigger picture. Maybe clips this a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna do that. Oh, I love it. You guys are nerding out on this. I didn't even know this whole thing existed until today. But it totally makes sense that you would. So we're doing a little bit of bleeding here. I think I need to add some more of that magenta color. And not least, a bit of blue here. The only thing I feel like I should have done some of these areas darker. I'm definitely gonna go back and do a second wash. Like, well, it's still wet. There's all these opportunities. You can add texture, you can layer more. But barely. It's very easy to, like, you can overdo it very easily. So I generally tend to err on the side of caution of not overdoing it. Just now I had to like try very hard to stop myself. But I do. And Crimson, I don't know if you. Yeah, definitely. And if not, I'm sure I'll post it at some point. I'm always behind on the artwork I post versus the artwork I make on live because I make more art than I can post, I think. Or maybe my posting schedule is just not so disciplined. But before I'm gonna stop here today because I'm getting tired and I don't want to just, muddle through all this. But I wanted to show Crimson this area. You see how now there's like 4 different colors running into it. That's when it gets muddy really fast. But luckily it's not too bad yet. You can still kind of clearly see the shades of blue because there's yellow here that runs into blue, becomes green in the middle kind of, and here. So yeah, so when the surface is too wet, it's easy to get muddy. So maybe if you feel like your artwork gets muddy very easily, I think maybe less water could help. Okay, guys, let's zoom back and see what we have done today so far. I do want to add that the first session, the base session, always feels like I could have done more, or it always takes longer than it does. But we kind of started here with these flowers here. This is the texture made by the salt, kosher salt. We kept on going, then I start adding some blue and realizing I really love it. I think this area might need a little bit of like this part, I'll probably darken this. And then this part is really pretty. I really like the addition of blue, but I think maybe some of the middle area could use a little bit more gouache to make it more saturated. But I love all these textures that all this is making. And that comes from not blending it and be confident with your colors, which, if when you're getting tired and not thinking straight, this kind of happens. But I'm going back to do the second wash, so nothing, no worries. Surreal art so advanced and nice. It's funny you say that, Crimson, because I feel like I picked surreal art because I'm so bad with actual drawing. Like I'm so bad with realistic drawing that's why I kind of tends to lean towards surreal, because in the surreal world anything is fine, anything goes, right? And I'm also really bad with perspective, so surreal art was like, I don't need perspective for surreal, it's a dreamscape. But I think that's how we find our strength, and I think that's how we discover the things that we naturally gravitate towards. I'm gonna set my camera right here since that's the pretty area. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for the past almost 4 hours. I feel like I'm, well within that 30-20% of this progress of this painting. I feel like it's in that ugly painting stage right now, but I also have faith that it will turn out just fine. And I really love how the colors are starting to look. Nice. And then for those of you who joined us a little bit later, I do want to show you guys. Oh, can you even see? Can't see. Oh yeah, I'm on the. You know what? Never mind. I forgot which camera I was on. But anyways, I will be back next week at the same time. I will probably finish this painting, and then next week we're gonna start a new piece. I'm not sure what is it gonna be yet. We'll see. So surprise next week, and then hopefully I'll have a finished painting of this piece to hang up on the wall to share with you guys. And again, thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for being here with me, hanging out with me, talking with me, Crimson and Trevor. It's good that you guys are asking questions and talking, because I feel like otherwise I'm just doing this on my own. It's kind of lonely. Appreciate that. And then yeah, I will, if you haven't done so already, guys, for those of you who are watching, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, follow, whatever button that you're comfortable with. And I will see you guys next week. Same place, same time. Okay? Bye, guys. Oh, good. Crimson says she learned a lot, so I love that. So yeah, we'll chat next week, and I hope you can make it. But if you guys can't, no worries. There's always a replay.